Dundee United complete a very positive start to the coefficient season for the Scottish clubs. Rangers won on Tuesday, Hibs drew earlier in Midtjylland, and now tonight Dundee United pick up a victory against Strassen. We might have expected a wee bit more. I wrote my notes in very light blue here, and I have to shine a light just to be able to see them. But you know what? We didn't see this game because it's a joke. BBC Scotland should be showing this game, or Premier Sports, right? You pay 12 quid for the Hibs game. Sure as hell ain't going to pay 12 quid for the Dundee United game. If you look at what game on paper's better, it's definitely the Hibs Midtjylland game. And I think it played out that way. But we'll get into it. Dundee United 1, Strassen 0. Before we get into it though, the tie's by no means over. I think most people probably expected Dundee United to put this team out their misery going over to Luxembourg next week. But they didn't. It's very much open, but based off the stats and based off the highlights I have seen, Dundee United should have won by more, and they're not through. But they do begin with a Fico Sylvie shot that was saved. There was a few bookings in this game as well early on. Strassen liking to play a wee bit dirty, but I look at the Dundee United side, it was actually weird. There was not one Scottish player in the 11. I don't really understand what's going on there, but here, whatever gets them through at the end of the day. But I looked at it and it's like, this looks like a weak. Dundee United have signed quite a lot of players, but on paper, like even though they finished 5th last year, you look at Hearts, you look at Hibs, you look at Aberdeen, there's a lot of recognisable players in here. It kind of feels like Dundee United, they've lost quite a few. Obviously Sam Dalby's going to be a hard one to replace, and I do feel like they did pass up a lot of opportunities in that regard. And obviously they're going to miss him. He was their top goal scorer from last season, but the goalkeeper for Strassen, Cora Oskin, he made quite a few saves. Trabononski had a shot saved. I rate Trabononski. Pape then prevents a goal for Strassen. He manages to get back and balloon it out for a corner. And that takes us in at 0-0 at half time. At this point, I feared the worst because I think if it ends in a draw, Strassen probably sneak it next week. But I don't know too much about Strassen, folks. You look at Midtjylland, you look at Panathinaikos, we know those clubs. Strassen, hands up, I've never heard of them. Never heard them before they got announced, before they got this game against Dundee United. Dundee United should be beating them twice, but the fact they've only beaten them 1-0 at Tannadice doesn't give me all the confidence in the world. But we come back from the half-time break, and Dundee United make it 1-0 with Sapsford. Nutmegs a defender and then sticks it top bins for outside the box. This was a great finish, by the way. We've seen a lot of good goals so far this week in Europe. And this just adds to it. Was it the best of the bunch? Nah, I'll go with Gazman as still being the best of the bunch. But the nutmeg was pretty good. We then saw a whole host of subs come on. Owen Sturton had a shot saved. He then got brought down. Pretty nasty tackle from the Strassen defender. We had a bunch of corners. Will Ferry, 10 minutes from the end, he fizzes across. Right across the face of goal. Someone needs to get onto it. Quite similar to the effort for Tav in the Rangers game where he fizzed it across for Dessers, but Dessers couldn't get onto it. No one could get on it here. Kamara ends up coming to him a couple of seconds later. He has an effort, but cleared off the line, and that was about the 89th, 90th minute. And if Dundee United make it 2, that's the difference maker, man. Rangers made it 2. Hibs did make it 2, but it got ruled out. Obviously, Midtjylland pegged them back. But here, 2-0, man, that puts Dundee United with a massive advantage. But we see 4 minutes added on, a wee bit more huffing and puffing. But Strassen, they had the odd chance, but based off the highlights that I've seen and the notes that I've took, it was all Dundee United. It did end 1-0, but it's very much open at 1-0. But the good news is you can lose next week 1-0 against Strassen. You can lose 2-1, etc., etc. And it's going to extra time. Hell, you can draw next week and you're still going to go through. So good result for Dundee United. I mean, ideally I would have liked a wee bit more, but you look at this week, 2 wins and a draw, considering the opponents, I think it's good. I think most people expect it. It's the Hibs Midtjylland game. I think Strassen and Panathinaikos, everyone more or less believed that Rangers and Dundee United would get the job done. It was more that Midtjylland game. So going into next week, it flips. We've got 1 home game and 2 away games. Will we do better next week? Doubtful, but hopefully we can. But that is where we'll leave it, guys. Sapsford with the only goal for Dundee United. Strassen Will they be able to fight back next week in Luxembourg? We'll have to wait and see. I believe next week's game's on the iPlayer or BBC Scotland, so that is good, because paying £12 for every game, man, it's a disgrace, especially when you factor in how many people pay for Sky, TNT, Premier Sports. I mean, hell, I think they show games on, well, I mean, they don't show Scottish games on Amazon, but look at the amount of product that's out there, TV channels, apps that you have to pay for just to get your hands on some football. It's a disgrace. So paying £12 a game is an absolute rip. I mean, what about a weekly pass or something? A monthly pass for this solid sport? I mean, it's good that there is the option to buy it, but at the same time, man, £12 to watch Dundee United against Strassen. Maybe it was a playoff game, man, but yeah, for a second qualifying round in the Conference League, not so much. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow morning. European Review Show. Till next time, peace.